All right. Looks like we are recording. Today is Saturday, April. Is it April 9th? Yes. And we are live with the OGToken.io team. We have the beautiful Smile Joey and Jawad with us as well, both the funders of OGToken.io, and they're gonna let us know about their project and why we should vote for them. So Jawad, if you want to kind of tell our community and stuff about OG Token and who you are, what y'all are about, and everything, that would be awesome.
Sounds good. Okay, so my name is Jawad. I'm one of the founders of OG Token, and I mostly take care of anything that has to do with the OG platform, with the artistic side when it comes to posters, design, videos. I also do social media, taking care of posts and everything that counts around it. For my experiences, especially in the crypto industry, I did help some projects in the background, mostly with being a moderator, looking for partnerships, connecting a project to another one. So in short, this is my role in OG for now. Yeah. I'll pass it to Joey. So
okay. Yeah, thanks. His sorry, his explanation is always short and sweet. I'm Joey, as everyone can see here. I'm sorry if I'm not sounding so right. I'm actually a little giddy now, so in case if I don't sound very coherent, please do excuse me. I am the other founder for OG Token. So Jawad and I, we founded the company Organic Growth Private Limited back in December. We actually started all the work and development from November, the planning, strategy, and even we secured 2 angel investors for organic growth, starting from November 2021. So we had like a major investment from 2 persons plus our own money. We started the project before having any public form of private sale, pre-sale. So we are in April now, where we will be launching our main platform very soon. We're planning for it to be in April itself. So it looks like we're at the end of testing for phase 1. We will have testing for phase 2 very soon. The testing for phase 2 is with the community. There's a brief overview of the timeline of what we're doing. In terms of myself, I take care of anything related to finances, operations management, project management, business relationship management. So more towards business operations, if you will. I also take care of pre-launch marketing and also strategic marketing later on. So we have not done any major pushes. So I guess this is just a short introduction of my role in OG. Professionally, I've been in the corporate industry for 10 years, a mixture of finance and IT background. So 10 years, spent 8 years in management, 5 years in senior management. So quite a few things that I've been doing. Don't try to guess my age, I know. I know some of y'all like 10 years? But she doesn't look that, okay. I've gotten that a few times, so in case if that's a question. In crypto, this is not my first project. Last year in May, I had another project with 2 other partners. I left in October, and in November we founded OG. So in between as well, those months I've helped out some projects, a little here and there, in different kind of work. So it can be related to strategy, it can be related to utility management, it can be related to business partnership or strategies in general. So for OG, I guess a little bit that we would like to share, because essentially what we're trying to do is quite a lot. We have a lot of utilities of what we are trying to bring to the table. It ranges from what we have on our platform, which is for something like freelance platform for specialized in crypto marketing in general. So for example, a project owner will be able to hire a freelancer to register on the website, like a marketplace, or like, for example, Fiverr, Upwork, if you've seen before, and many others freelance platform. But that's just one thing that we have on our platform. Unlike many others, we collaborated or combined quite a few things within there. So you'll see things like a leaderboard, places where you can read articles, places for ads. Off the platform, we have things like our elite clubs. We have places like our elite clubs. We have other form of services, which we call OG services, which is off platform. Right now, we're trying to push our presence for physical expo that's happening in June. We have not booked a booth yet, but we are also trying to help out projects who want to get there with a very low fee, comparing to what they would have if they were to set up on their own. So a few things that we're doing in the background, multiple utilities of the project. How it all came about is because we found we found a lot of issues pertaining to the crypto marketing industry in general. Someone who has managed a project or been a part of a team for a project, they will be able to know that, there's so many kinds of scam. I'm talking about it can be, that person come to you and say, I can do this for you. Let's say I can do 500 upvotes to get you listed on CoinSniper immediately, for example, for an exchange of X amount of money. So either they don't do that 500 that they promise, or they don't even do it, they take your money, they disappear, or they vote on another website, which is completely not what you asked for. So there's a lot of types of scam. And, there's actually way more scammers with the in the crypto marketing sector than there are projects that scam. In one project, you will easily find a new project that's upcoming before it's launched. I think you can easily get like 300 to 400 people joining the group just purely as marketers, and about a close 90% of them could be scammers, right? There are a lot of legit ones as well that get mixed inside, but people can't tell anymore. There's just no way to differentiate them. So what we are trying to do is to create a platform where it's possible for people to distinguish, find out more information of these freelancers, to make a judgment if they should proceed, but to help them make the decision better or proceed with the work better, we're instilling an escrow function. So projects can deposit the amount without paying the freelancers directly. The freelancers themselves, they can see that the projects have already deposited an amount of money, and they can go ahead and do the work. So in case if they don't deliver the work that they said that they would, of course there are terms and conditions and dispute policy, but the projects can request for the money to be returned back to them instead of if they were to do a crypto transfer immediately, it's irreversible. But with the escrow feature, that is something that can be nipped in the bud in that sense. Okay, so this is briefly what our project is about. I'm sure there are many questions. I can share our red paper. I can share our videos to get a clearer idea, or if you have questions about the specifics, or if there are more examples that I can give. So I think one thing for listeners here who are from our community, from the OG Tokens community, if you guys, this is our first AMA with Branch, and as you guys know, we have partnered up with them. It's not just for the voting piece that they have done for us on their site. We are going through a lot of motions after that as well, because we've mentioned we have things like OG services that's off platform, or like bundle packages, things like that. where we can potentially include some connections from branch or anything along those lines for strategic partnership in future. So one of many things that branch does, the main thing that they do right now is they have a voting system where they collect a few of the vetted good projects that they think would qualify and benefit from the thing that they will be doing, which is to vote for those projects to give them exposure. Number one, exposure. Number two, obviously, a chance to win among all the other projects. And I believe, Jamie, I don't actually fully remember the price. I really just we were really there for the exposure. So you might want to cover.
Yeah, no, you're fine. That's awesome. So yeah, like you said, definitely we are going to be that cat's out of the bag. We're going to be working with OG, which is phenomenal, as they have a lot to offer with Branch and vice versa. So I definitely see that as being a very big thing. So with Branch, we list projects. We were originally going to be doing, a weekly voting contest and everything, but it just gets too much trying to schedule VCs, AMAs, and kind of allowing the community to have enough time to be able to do their own research and everything on projects and pick the right one. But anyways, you connect to our D app, with your wallet, and it's 100,000 branch, to be able to vote, which is equivalent, I think, like $10 or $15 right now, which, really, really isn't bad. But with that, at the end of the voting cycle, if you want to sell your branch, you can. But at the same time, if you hold branch, at the end of every contest, you're getting airdrops for winning tokens. So it's basically free money, and you're growing your wealth and diversifying your platform with Branch. So.
Yeah, so we're really excited to be there. We hope to get some votes, but we understand that, while we encourage for you guys to hold some of the tokens to vote for us, but we really appreciate the chance that Branch has even put us there for exposure when other people do view the token, the vote list, and we are there. So either way, even if we win or we don't, although we of course we hope that we do, but even if we don't, there's a lot of favor that Branch has done for us. So we really thank you guys for this opportunity as well.
You're very welcome, and we appreciate y'all listening with us, and that's what Branch is about, is getting the exposure out there to other projects. Because I could tell you personally, I get DMs on projects that we list, and they're like, "Oh my God, I can't believe this project was out there, and I didn't even know about them." And that's what we're trying to accomplish, one, bringing awareness and education, and actually bringing out good projects such as OGtoken.io that most people probably wouldn't have known about until, the price went up. And, looking at your tokenomics and everything, there's only 57 million, if I'm correct, of OG token. So that's not a whole lot. Yeah, that 57 million isn't a whole lot. So when that price goes up, and that exposure gets out there, people are going to be like, "Man, I wish I would have known about OG token before. I wish I would have known about Branch before," and everything, So, I mean, that's the way everything.
Well, can I just butt in and just say my 2 penny worth on that, if you don't mind? Because I feel like I'm the ideal person, because I am kind of the target user, the target customer. I'm a CEO myself of a project, and I have already used the branch services as well, tried and tested, and I am actually keen to use the OG services too. And I'm already in your group. I've already watched one of your AMAs previously, so I've done my due diligence. But one thing that I really want to touch on is your whole marketing thing, because the thing that stood out to me with one of your previous AMAs, right, is that I could potentially come over and sort of like find a good marketing strategy through your sort of vetting services or something like that. Do you know what I mean? So if we can touch a little bit on, you know, how somebody like myself can come along and really help, get involved and, you know, use your services to help us to market a project, you know,
Yeah,
like mine. Would be great.
for sure. Thanks, Mark. Thanks. I like that you raised a good question in between of our conversation. I think this is really fair and for many people to understand what are the other form of things that we do that might not translate into immediate like utility, but it's a form of service to the community and even project owners in general. So um, in essence, because the site itself is a freelance platform, a lot of people wouldn't have expected for, you know, the team to be able to give advices. While there are some ways on the site to determine who are the better ones to select based on like score, based on amount that they have earned, for those freelancers where you can see openly. But it's also important, I guess, for someone who's not very used to crypto marketing in general, to go into the site and say, okay, well, I have a budget of this. Now there is all this category. I don't know where to start. So this would mean that, you know, the freelance platform is very effective if you already have places where you know what you want to do, what you want to hire. But what if it's very new to somebody and they don't know what to do? Not don't know, or maybe they need suggestion, advice, or someone to vet through. So with the OG team, what we really want to do with projects that we connect with is we want to understand how can we help in terms of like conversation with the project owners, understanding what's the financial budget at this moment, what are they trying to achieve out of the marketing goal, when do they want to achieve that. So while we don't build it out for you guys directly, but we will be able to give you advice and also point out some areas where you can go to, potentially some of the partners that we have that we can trust, where they can probably link you up with connections to get some things that you need done. Or, you know, we can also discuss with you what we have seen that we know it doesn't work at this moment. It might be a big waste of money. Because honestly, even ourselves, in all the projects that we've done or get involved in, some form of marketing is not measurable immediately. And sometimes you feel like you've spent a lot more than you need to, and it doesn't translate into the immediate results that you want to see, for example. So but I guess that, you know, Mark, you can always just reach out to me. I think we have a DM going on. I really don't remember. I'm so sorry because I have like a lot flooded. I don't remember that. But it can be a very two-side discussion. You can have a call. We can help you guys through. Obviously, we will only do this for projects where we feel they are genuine, number one. Number two, we are able to identify the owners, that they are real. We need to make sure the project is not dodgy. So as long as they fit through all these criteria, we can use a lot of connections that we have, whether they are the paid ones or the free ones. The paid ones, we can get discounts, try to get discounts. The free ones, we'll try to see if we're able to connect you guys. The beauty of this is, you know, right now, I think, especially as the market is very uncertain, not every project has amazing trade volume. And it's essential for trade volume to be good, I guess, in that sense, so that people are able to make some taxes out of we're able to take some taxes out to go through with whether development or paying other people to do some work, or even like marketing itself, or just anything that you need to spend on. There's really a lot of mini items that essentially a project owner will have to spend on that people don't realize the magnitude of it. So without those funds, it's really hard for projects to survive in general, and sometimes misusing those funds, like not misusing as in they are pocketing or anything, it's just not using it at the right area or the right marketers or the strategy is devastating.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, people. I mean, I've made mistakes when it comes to spending, and I mean, I love that.
Same.
Thanks. Thanks for answering that question. I mean, yeah, I'm hyped. I think you're all really good, and yeah, I'm very question well answered. That's all I can say. Very well answered.
Thanks, Mark. Let's connect offline as well, though. Like, really wanna see what we can do together, perhaps.
Awesome. Yeah, I look forward to it. I don't know if you've checked us out, but yeah, we'll talk about that afterwards. I'll step back and see if there's anyone else that's got any questions, because I tend to interrupt and bombard other AMAs. Sorry, Jamie, you carry on, mate. I don't know if you've got any more questions to ask.
No, you're fine. I mean, questions are always good. Looks like we actually just had John, which is one of our team members, jump on. John, do you have any questions? Oh, there's John.
Yes, sir. I joined a little bit late, so I didn't quite catch most of it. So I think I'll just sit back for now. But if anything comes up, I'll shoot away.
I do have another question. Sorry it's seriously, like, because I think you were just doing your pre-sale last time I heard. Is that correct? You've just recently done a pre-sale, or you've just launched? I mean, I don't know. Let's talk about that side of things.
Yeah. So we had a pre-sale on 12th of March, and we collected everything in public round in just seconds. We have a whitelist round, but those are fixed allocations, and they went to, I think a good 50% of it went to public round, and then we fill it in just less than a minute, if I don't remember, just a few seconds. We launched immediately because we were on Unicrypt. So in Unicrypt, anybody can just launch the token once it's filled, as long as they were in the pre-sale. So we launched immediately. There were some issues in our version 1 contract that we had to stop the whole contract immediately in 12 hours. We migrated and we relaunched on 17th, but we don't have another pre-sale. It was fair launch the second round. Well, not fully a fair launch because there were a pre-sale, but the second round, we did not collect anything extra. We had liquidity stuck on the first one. We still have a good amount of liquidity stuck over there. We put in the liquidity for the new contract plus the funds that we have gotten from the pre-sale. We have put in almost like a good 30% of everything that we've obtained, put it back into the new liquidity. We can slowly get the liquidity back from V1 to put it back on the cost, but we wanted to get it moving. So on the 17th, about 3 weeks ago, we relaunched, and here we are right now. We actually, one thing to share, when we launched, I think we went on a dip for the first week. Then from the lowest dip to ATH, we went up to about 2.5 times, but in terms of price, but market cap, I think we tripled. And ever since then, we're sitting around the floor price is around ATH. It's pretty cool right now.
Nice.
Yeah, pretty nice. Jawad actually has he would like to show a little something to the community about something that platform testing that we've been doing in the background. Just disclaimer, a lot of places might not be linked properly because as we are testing, the developers are also fixing the codes at the background. So what works the other day when you guys see it might not work today or might work more. So in case if you guys are wondering, oh, why is it a bit weird? It's because in testing environment, it's not the live server. For those of you who codes or test codes, you would know that it's not always stable. FYI. So he's been pinging me and like, can I show now? And I'm like, oh yeah, sure. You may. You wanna bring them through now?
Yes, I'm gonna share the screen right away.
Awesome.
Can you guys see the screen?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Good. So basically, this is the dashboard for the platform. This is the one we've been showing to the community. Like Joey said, there's a lot of buttons that don't really work for now. Like, for example, if you click on post your job, it won't show you any format that you need to fill or anything. So it's just templates for now. So I just want to walk you guys through this and how would the experience be, right? So once the user or you guys create an account, in the beginning, you will have a choice to either choose between employer or a freelancer. If it's a freelancer, there's a bunch of information to fill in. If it's employer or project owner or a team, a member of team, basically they can just fill in the information of the team with their social media, their Telegram account, website, and everything. And when it comes to searching for services, let's say, because once you switch between employer and freelancer, you still get the same choices here. So a freelancer can either receive jobs from projects or offer services to the employer, which goes both ways. So there's a section for browser for services, which is this one. Browser for jobs. This is just an example of the jobs that has been posted. It's not actually 1 hour ago. It's just data that we put there to at least show how will it look like in real life. This one is for my services. We're still talking about the freelance case here. There's posted, the offers in progress that he's still working on and they completed. When it comes to dispute function, especially the only part that can raise a dispute is the employer in this case. Basically, they will have a button for it, especially if they use OG token, which will trigger the escrow in this case. So once they click on the button for dispute, we're gonna receive that ticket. Of course, we're gonna check fairly and see which part here did the job, which part did not. It can be from both sides. So once, let's say the employer, he was right, and let's say the YouTuber only posted the video after a few days than what they agreed upon in the contract. So in this case, the project have the full right to get his funds, and once they raise a ticket, afterwards we can give them the access to take the funds. Okay, so this is how it works. It might take some time. There's a section to contact us. It gets sent to our support email directly. Yeah, so that's it. That's it from the payment side. When it comes to the setting, we have made some changes when it comes to this. So this is not the one that it's going to be in the platform now, but mostly it looks like this. There is no Ethereum. The user will have the choice to choose the chain. For us, so far, there's only Binance chain. And once the user chooses, let's say, OG, it will automatically trigger an escrow and remove all the processing fees that was supposed to be paid if they use Binance or or BUSD. Yeah. So on the, I'm not sure if Joey went through the leaderboard. The leaderboard, the purpose of it is.
No, she didn't go through the leaderboard yet. I don't believe.
Okay. Oh. Okay. Sorry about that. Just the autoplay for the video over here. So for the leaderboard, for the section for employer or project and freelancer, this one is gonna basically be organic. Whatever jobs that has been done, for the rating as well, whatever rating that has been saved, the amount of jobs, everything will be listed here and it will be ranked fairly. For the promoted section, this one is one of the services that the platform provides. So instead of looking, for example, for projects that spend a lot in the platform, there will be the section for projects who wants to display their projects in the promoted site. So for them to do that, of course, they would need to have an account in the platform where they're gonna state all the informations, and we will be the ones that take care of the display function over here. So based on the information that are stated in the profile, it's gonna show the same thing on the leaderboard. Yeah. I think that's all. There's other functions that I cannot display now because they're still being tested in another server. But for now, the overall functions or the process flow, this is how it's going to be. Yeah. If you guys have any questions, just go ahead.
We have some screenshots, actually more than 30 when we were testing. On the changes and for it to be re-amended. I think there is some sample. Maybe we can share some of it. What do you think?
Just give it a bit. Let me access it first. Okay? You might take some time.
Yeah, sure. Thanks.
So while you're just looking for that, can I ask about the tokenomics?
Yeah, for sure. You mean the buy and sell taxes or?
Yes. And have you got any reflections or anything like that? Yeah, just a breakdown, please.
Yeah, for sure. So our buy taxes and sell taxes are different. Buy taxes at 10%. So on both buy and sell, we have 4% reflection, so total of 8% reflection back to holders. We did not put it in other currency because we understood in the past, there's a lot of issues pertaining to the contract when we try to do a different contract. Not us in general, but we've seen a lot. And after the V1 issue, we were not really comfortable with doing that. So we kept it at local reflections. So in buy tax, marketing team development would take the rest of the marketing team development plus buyback would take the rest 6%, where 2% of it specifically for buyback. For selling piece, 4% reflection, as mentioned previously, 2% buyback, and the rest, 9%, it goes back to marketing team development. So a lot of it focused on the marketing side, because if someone sells, we want to be able to accumulate marketing wallet. For the buyback amount that we do get, we keep those amount right now. It's traceable in BSC scan. You guys can find the buyback wallet. Whatever that we buy, though, we will burn those tokens. So it is essentially the supply will still go down. 57 million is at the max right now, but it will continue to go down. The amount of tokens will continue to go down. So will we stop burning the token at one point? Potentially, yes, depending on how fast the rate, we might have to pause. If, for example, there are still money in the buyback wallet and we're pausing the buyback, then those money, what we can do is add tokens into liquidity, because when you add tokens to liquidity, you also need money. So we'll see how that goes, but essentially it should go down pretty quick. once we start using the buyback wallet. Why we have not started to use it just yet is because we want to pair it with good marketing activities. Only then, the chart will look more live and active and be able to support the price when things go up a little bit. But at this moment, we're not touching it at all. Like I mentioned previously, you guys will be able to check it in the BSC scan. Will there be plans for us to reduce the taxes in future? Definitely. So we started off with a little higher in taxes and played a difference between buy and sell so that, psychologically it's not a lot. I know 5% is a lot of money if you have a huge amount, but it's not a huge difference between two enough to make people go eek, but it's enough to make people reconsider if they want to sell at that very moment, if it's not for emergency. So will we bring it down to lower than 15% for sell in future? Most likely. We will look at reduction once, the platform itself, if it gets very busy, we're generating very high volume, and those volume is enough to sustain a lot of things that we're trying to do, initiatives that we have, then yes, it would make sense for us to generally reduce to promote people using the token even more by then. Will it be totally zero in future? We don't know. Very well could if our focus is more on centralized exchange in the future. Right now, we're still on DEXs. So we still have Texas. But once we move over to centralized exchange, the strategy could be different. We could change the tokenomics a little bit. But that's what it is right now, Mark.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Once again.
Sure.
So now, when you're saying, there's 57 million tokens and y'all are going to burn. So we have a lot of new people into crypto, just like I know you do in your community. So what does that mean when, you're doing the burns and it goes down to zero?
Yeah. Well, it won't go down to zero because people still have to hold the token. So it depends on the value as it goes up. But what's the value of burning really? So there's a few things that comes with it. If a project buys back and burns the token, when you buy back, what you're doing over there is you put money into the liquidity. And when the supply reduces, the value actually goes up. So sometimes it might not seem like a huge monetary change, but there's a few benefit to that. One, it can stretch further. Two, the possibility of the expansion becomes higher because the market cap, the perceived market cap in general, is not going to be as high since market cap or fully diluted market cap usually is calculated on total amount of tokens. So when a token or coin is low on market cap, it shows that there's a lot of opportunity to grow. For example, right now we're sitting on a full diluted market cap at 820K. We went, on a dip, I think it went to 240 at a point. So we tripled. But yeah, 820,000 market cap. If we look at, say, for example, if we value our projects in future to be 100 million business, which is highly possible. Freelance platforms have the ability or the potential to even go on to billions. But let's say we aim at 100 million. 100 million market cap at 57 million tokens would be about almost $2. Not almost, like $1.80 per token's value. And right now our token value is just at 1 cent. Very low. So think about the potential, how much it could grow. And if we are to burn the supply, which means, instead of 57 million, let's say it goes down to 50 million and we're still trying to hit the 100 million market cap, each token will then be worth $2. And the percentage of whatever you're holding against the total supply increases as we burn. So if you guys pay attention to Ethereum, last year when Ethereum really started to burn their supply, back in April during the bull run, it pushed Ethereum really high to its ETH because the utility has of the whole coin has pushed a lot of burn. It was like burning hundred over thousands of Ethereum at one point for people to mint NFT. It was booming at that time. Ethereum is still constantly burning, mining, and burning at the same time. Ours fixed supply, but it keeps going down, so it's different. So imagine how that would play out. Ethereum's supply is sitting at 100 over million. The last time I checked, I haven't seen it for the past few weeks. I'm sorry if that's not correct now. But look at per coin, how much it's at. We're talking about 4 digits, and their market cap's at few billion. Of course, what they're doing and what we're doing is different. But we start off as this, and we'll slowly grow into, different expansions, different branches. But essentially, this is what that will first get us to, let's say, a beautiful market cap before we further expand and be, what do you call that? Have more wings as altcoins. So, so for new people who join crypto in general, if there's a burning mechanism, it's really good. Although you have to understand how are they burning, what does that burn rate look like, when are they burning, and why are they burning? Are they just burning because they have supply to burn? Are they burning because transactions that keeps happening allow them to burn? These two makes a huge difference. So it can be a play. So I hope that that's not too lengthy of an answer, Jade.
No, that's awesome. I mean, like I said, you have new people in crypto, so do we. So the more in depth and the more we can educate, the communities and people understand crypto, the better. And with that comes more mass adoption. So that is definitely amazing. There's definitely not any time where there's too much information in crypto.
Yeah. Sometimes I can imagine myself doing a podcast, but I think people probably report the podcast because I would talk nonstop for hours. Can you just stop her? You just stop her. Yeah. Which I think Jawad is signaling me right now because he actually got a lot of the screenshots that we did over the testings, and I think he wants to share that, but I wouldn't stop talking. So he kind of DM'd me like, "Is it my turn?" Yeah, I'm not kidding.
Fine.
No, that's fair enough. Let Joel have show off his stuff, man. Show your stuff.
Sure. Let me just share the screen right away.
While he does that, Joey Herman did apologize. She said she had to jump off real quick, but she said she's going to try to jump back in AMA.
Like me though, I talk too much. I talk a lot. I try to. I try not to.
Can you guys see the screen?
Yes.
Okay. So this is going to be just screenshots of the most important functionalities that we've tested recently. So the first one, it's going to be from the service provider or the freelancer's site. So of course, once they create an account, they always get a standard account, which has a fixed 5% fee. Once they finish the job, they don't have to pay anything, but they only get maximum of 2 transactions or 2 jobs a month. And they also don't get the access of approach function, which allows them to approach any project that's in the platform. So this one, basically, it's the proof that the user is interacting with the contract that's integrated within the platform. So of course they will have to pay some transaction fee. Yeah, so once they pay, it gets confirmed. And let's say they pay for the business tier. It will automatically start counting down until the expiry day. And of course, there's notification to let them know on email, on the dashboard itself. But this is just how we will look like. The next one, it's one of the offers that has been sent from the service provider to the employer in this case. So the employer has the choice to either decline or confirm. Right after that, it's to put in the money in the escrow, right? So based on their account, if they use OG, especially for the employer, as you can see, there's 0 fee. This is the amount that he's going to pay, and this is the deadline. Okay, this is very important because it is integrated in the contract. So after it crosses the deadline, of course, the employer is secure in case the service or the task is not done on time. So the cryptocurrency, they can choose between three tokens. There's OG token, BNB, and BUSD. So the next one is to put the money in the escrow. Yeah, so at this time, the service started. It's still in progress. The same thing, the fee and the deadline, and the raise dispute button that I've just mentioned now. So the next one is once it's completed, but completed doesn't mean that they did a good job or they delivered it at the right time. So basically it's completed, but it's not paid because once it's paid, we cannot get back the funds anymore. So at this stage, they already raised a dispute. So we already reviewed it and we chose to allow them to release the funds because it's within their rights. So basically, this is how it works.
Yeah, sorry. I think that's another page that we have to talk about. This is the normal flow to release the fund to the freelancer, not to reverse the fund. Am I getting it wrong? Sorry. You're on mute.
This one is from the employer side.
Yeah, because earlier you said if they raise the dispute, we allow the release of funds. I think this is not that one. This is we will let them release the funds to the freelancer. They can raise a dispute and we'll take care of it. I know we talked about the buttons a little bit. I'm sorry. Yeah, I think we got confused halfway. Sorry, guys. This is what happens when you keep going back and forth with the screens and the test.
Oh, it's fine.
It's interesting.
Moving to, okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Jimmy.
No, I said y'all were fine.
So,
Okay.
I do have another question. Are you the Jawad? Are you a Solidity code coder? Are you the guy that come up? Who's the coder here? Who comes up with the smart contracts? Who created the smart contract?
For the development of the platform, basically we're working with a company. They have a large team that takes care of this, and I'm the one who connects with them, whatever we want, whatever functions that we want. When it comes to review, when it comes to following up with everything that's in the roadmap. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
It's quite a big project.
And then once you sort of have the smart contract established, I mean, have you had it verified and like audited?
No.
For the smart,
not yet.
no, the smart contract, if you're talking about the V2 smart contract, is because it's actually developed by Trinos himself. And Trinos is a developer plus auditor. I think many of you would know him. So we've chosen not to audit the second contract, not the escrow. The escrow has not. We're still testing the escrow contract, but our token contract is actually created by Trinos himself. We had the first version, which was created among few developers, and it, we had an audit, but we can't use that audit because we changed some parts in for the smart contract. But it is verified and published for our token contract. For the escrow, not yet. It's
Okay.
actually not live yet. Yeah.
So I appreciate the openness and transparency and the honesty there. I mean, are you going to get this second contract audited, or are you just going to, it's something that people look at, isn't it? I know that you've done it once, and people can see the first time it was good and so on and so forth, but they want to see it, I suppose, applied to every new contract that is deployed to a degree.
We won't have issue auditing it. It's just because of the fact that it was created by Trinos himself. Out of respect, we also don't want someone else to audit it immediately when he deployed it. We will have another one a later date. But yeah, there's some stuff that I don't feel comfortable saying on screen that could be very rude to auditors in general. But yeah, I do think, because Trinos himself, he has a lot of measures when he deploys a contract for somebody. He has a lot of areas where he made it specific that it will be not ruggable from contract perspective. But of course, people can do other things like unlocking the token early, lying about the lock dates, and dumping on the chart. But in terms of the contract, I guess we can refer them to Trinos' channel himself. When he deploys, he has very specific rules of what he does and what he doesn't. But yeah, we can get that audited in future. That's not an issue. It's just not a wise amount to spend right now, seeing that he has done it. FYI.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. Cheers.
No problem.
Hi, I'd like to ask about the fees that you guys charge to the buyers and the sellers. And from what I understand, it was 5%. And I think I heard that. If I'm wrong about that, correct me. And when comparing that to other marketplaces like Fiverr, it's so much lower than what they're charging. So is that number sustainable for you guys? Are you going to be able to cover your expenses from providing this service versus a site like Fiverr, who charges so much more? Like, I'm just a little bit confused about how you're able to charge such a low rate and still cover whatever you need to cover, the service team, anything involved with providing that service. How are you able to cover those fees with this low fee?
Yeah, I really thank you for bringing that up, because I think a lot of people who have not used freelance sites, they will probably even see 5% to be a humongous amount. But like what John has mentioned, is actually very, very low. So there is a caveat for sure. There are two payment options. So the first payment option, if they insist to go through with BUSD BNB, is actually 10% on both employer and the freelancer. However, if it's purely just for OG token, the employers don't pay anything, because when they buy the tokens, they're already taxes. And we do that on purpose in the beginning, because we also want more people to use the platform. But we will be able to generate a little bit from the breakdowns of the taxes when they buy the token. Same goes to the freelancer. If they opt for OG token, it can be as high as 5%, which is already very low, or as low as 1% of their commission. But if they were to sell the token, we would have gotten another 15%. Obviously, 4% goes to reflection, others broken down to different areas. But at this point, we do have enough to sustain for a good amount of time, 6 to 12 months easily, even if, touch wood, there's no business. Obviously, we'll work on that, but really hard not to have anything when you've started. Is it sustainable in the very long term, like 10 years, 20 years? I would argue and say depends, because on our site, we have a lot of other functions as well. We have the leaderboards that some of it could be promoted. We have the banner ads that you can see at the bottom and inside the dashboard. We have places where people can write articles and review. So essentially, quite a few things that is in the site that we can push some sales or revenue to sustain. But we do want to address this and be indispensable in the beginning in the market, especially because freelance platform in its essence is not exactly unique. But what we're trying to do is combine a lot of things, and obviously a low cost strategy for people to, to stop the barrier from entry, to prevent people from thinking, so expensive, I don't want to go there. So I guess I would say for the foreseeable future for now, that's definitely a doable model.
Yeah, thank you. And actually, so the BNB wise, it's more in line that I think it's like 20% on sellers and I don't know, 5% on buyers, something like that for Fiverr. So it's more in
10.
line. But
Yeah,
for
correct.
yeah, like that's the Fiverr rate, I'm pretty sure. So that 10 and 10 is more in line, but it still undercuts them, which is good. And then the OG
Yep.
token, I like the fact that it's like sort of you're giving them a break since they've already bought the token, and then if they want to get their money, they have to sell, and then they're taxed on that. So it's a nice little break there. So it's basically free trading back and forth, but if you want to convert that to other assets, then you gotta pay that fee.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a good model.
Absolutely. Yeah, we try to encourage people to use our token in that sense. That's why we put like a standard fee on BNB and BUSD or any other payment option in future that we offer. OG token will always have the priority because obviously that's our native token. And even the escrow feature that we are showing or discussing is only available on OG token. So we're not doing that for others like BNB, BUSD. No. So you want it, you got to use our token.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
There's that.
Real quick, I had a question. How many do you guys are you live now? Do you have users? I might have jumped in late, but as far as registrations go and sort of transactions.
The platform is actually not live just yet. Because registration is free for both freelancer and the employers themselves. Right now, at this very moment, we're not collecting names just yet because, we would love for them to sign up immediately instead of doing double job. But we have been speaking to a lot of people, freelancers and project owners alike. So once we go live, they can immediately sign up. It's simple few steps, and it doesn't cost for them to actually create the account. We did leave two things out. So there is a monthly fee if they use like a business or premium account for freelancers only. That is purely because if they're heavily using the platform, we do have to be careful of what we're paying for our server. If they're sending a lot of files, it could be very heavy. We have to retain them. Those are costs. So we do have like monthly fee depending on which package that they go for. The figure we'll discuss and that might change. But yeah, that would mean a different amount of fee that we'll take off as well if they pay that monthly amount, and how many transactions that they can do. The transactions per month for business and premium right now is incorrect. We're still fixing the numbers. I see some wordings are not correct. The wordings will be finalized right before we go live. Right now, you will still see some weird words because what is most important for us is the functionalities are to be correct.
Got it. Thanks. Yeah, because I was just wondering. I was trying to sign up and log in and stuff, so that's what I was just wondering. But do you have an expected time on that?
Thanks for the interest. Right now, actually, we're on nearing the end of testing phase 1. So phase 1 is where we test internally with the developers, trying to figure out as many things that we don't like or we like and amend it. Test phase 2, we will have it with the community, obviously with different people's computer or internet settings to see if there are any bugs or things that's preventing them on the site. So once phase 2 is completed or near completion, we'll plan our major marketing to push the platform, and then it will go live. in terms of its time frame, because of this testing period, that is a bit hard for us to gauge how long that would take. It can be somewhere end of April, I think, for us to launch at the current moment. I know we put Q2 as a roadmap, in the roadmap, but we're really not planning to delay it. If we are ever going to put the launch date a little later, it's probably because we're doing some marketing to push it. But if you join our community or our announcement channel, you'll be able to see the updates very frequent. But thanks for your interest, Ryan. Really happy to see there's some interest there. Thank you.
Okay. Dan, are you... Oh, looks like Diamond Hands Dan is on here. Do you have any questions, or anybody else have any questions for OG Token?
No, I don't have any more questions, which is quite rare for me. I think you've done once again a very good job. You've answered, the questions that I needed to ask, and yeah, it's been a really good AMA, to be quite honest with you. I know you're feeling well there, Joey. You did a good job. Jared, you did a good job too. Screen sharing that you needed to do, and yeah.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Mark. Yeah, I think I got a few DMs, and I think people can feel my energy is a lot lower than usual. I feel a little guilty. But I don't want to cancel today because we've been looking forward for the session. So thanks, guys, for being so supportive as usual.
Well, we appreciate you coming, even with being sick. Hopefully you get some rest and you get to take it easy tomorrow, as we'll be in your community tomorrow and explaining to your community branch. So you shouldn't have to do a whole lot of talking on there, which will be awesome. The winners, I think they've already DM'd me, the ones that won on the contest, and I'll be getting their tokens over here momentarily. Dan, I don't know if you can hear me or not, but I don't know if you have any other questions, and if not, I think we can.
I'm here.
Okay. Do you have any questions?
Sorry, I had my microphone muted because, as usual, I'm in the car and the sunroof had the windows down. It was loud. Say that again.
Well, I was wondering if you had any questions or anything for OG Token. If not, then I think we can wrap it up.
One of my big questions was answered by John, which was in terms of financial, I guess, like capability or expenses and that fee that they rip. Is it going to be sustainable? John asked that, and that was really one of my big questions. I'm excited about our partnership and everything that we're going to be doing together. But I mean, really, I've got a pretty good understanding of the project just because of my background. We've already spoke, but no, I'm pretty good here. I definitely want to get this one locked in, get the recording locked in, and posted, because I think there's a lot of valuable information on this AMA that's just really good in general, not just particularly about the token. Some of the questions you asked, Jamie, were really good in helping people understand how some of the stuff works. When you asked about how burning works, why is burning important? I thought that was a really good question that you asked, Jamie, because it also just kind of helps our community understand what the nature of this is, and all that stuff. So I think that this has been a really good one, and I think this AMA is gonna provide a lot of information that may be valuable to our community. So thank you guys over there at OG Token. Thank you very much for the time today, and bringing some really good information and answering our questions and taking time.
Thank you for having us, and we're really excited for this partnership as well. I want to thank then Jamie and John for hosting us and allowing us to be here. I think you guys have been very supportive. And I'm sure that with time to come, we'll work on more things. And can't wait to have you guys on to our community tomorrow.
Well, thank you, and we look forward to get you some rest. I'm gonna
Thank
go
you
ahead.
guys for having us today.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
You're welcome. I'm gonna go ahead and stop.
I just wanted to say thank you guys for having us today. Sorry, I think there's a delay in the sound. Just wanted to say thank you guys for hosting us today. Looking forward for this partnership and into having you guys in our group as soon as possible. Thank you for all the questions.
Thank you.
Thank you for all the questions.
Thank you.